So when enumerating processes as part of process identification, it helps to classify them according to the structure of the process architecture that is the main deliverable of the process identification phase itself. We can classify business processes according to three types of processes, and this is a classification that originates from the 80s from Michael Porter. We can define a process architecture by identifying suppliers and partners on the one hand and customers and stakeholders on the other hand, and then three classes of business processes. The first one is core processes. They take an input from suppliers or partners or an asset within the organization, and they transform it in order to produce an output that is of value to the customers and stakeholders. So essentially, these core processes operationalize the core business of the organization. Say an insurance company would have the claim handling processes as core processes. Then we've got support processes. They provide the resources that are required for the core processes to operate correctly. So they do not directly partake in a core business, but they offer support. So business processes to provide HR, IT services, legal, administrative services in general. And then we've got management processes. Again, they do not contribute to the core business of the organization, but they provide directions, rules, and practices for the core processes to operate correctly. So if core processes start from an input and build an output that is of value to customers and stakeholders, support processes start from a need, e.g. the need for recruiting new staff, and lead to a resolution, whereas management processes are used to control the core and support processes in order to ensure that they work according to the practices and policies of the organization and in line with the strategic objectives of the organization. Typical examples of management processes would be those for strategic design, implementation, and monitoring, and for planning, for budgeting, for managing risk and compliance within the organization, as well as for managing suppliers, partners, and investors. As Gary Ramler once put it, most organizations have three core processes: those to sell stuff, those to deliver stuff, and those to make sure that there is stuff to sell and deliver. So we can see that typical core processes would be to design and develop a new product or service, to manufacture the actual product, to market and sell the product, to deliver, so to distribute and deliver the product, and provide after-sales services, and finally the direct procurement processes, so all procure-to-pay processes that are involved in fetching those resources that are directly needed to build the final product or that are needed for the distribution supply chain, like the fresh produce in case of a wholesaler in the food supply chain. As far as support processes are concerned, on the other hand, we have all the procure-to-pay processes that refer to indirect procurement. So for the workplace to operate properly on a daily basis. And here we divide them into two categories: maintenance, repair, and operations procurement processes, MRO, so related, for example, to purchasing replacement parts. Like in the context of a wholesaler, there would be a replacement parts for a forklift. And then the second category is Operations Resource Management, ORM. So this is office parts, travel services, IT hardware and software, etc. So within the support processes, we have indirect procurement, as well as all the processes that offer HR services, IT services, and administrative services, which include accounting, financial, and legal services.